Hey everybody! Well, okay, here's a fun fact for you.
Fun, fun, fun. Whew.
Originally, I wanted to review this movie called Land of Doom, which is also known as Raiders of Death.
Not like the Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
No, we'll get into Indiana Jones knockoffs later in the future, I promise.
Sorry, it's late.
So, well, this movie kind of felt like. No, it
Yeah.
wasn't Indiana Jones, it's more like a Star Wars knockoff. So, I originally wanted to review that movie. Then I looked up the parental guide on IMDb, and I found out that there was a scene. And I've put Kay through some pretty tough movies recently, both watching for fun as well as watching for reviews. And after like 4 or 5 like really tough bad movies, it's like I, I can't do a sixth one.
Thank you.
It's like I need to do like five bad, one good. I can't do like six bad because she she
But this, okay,
she
just
jump
get to the
she
movie.
jump out of the window and we're on the
Oh,
first floor. So
we're in the basement.
anyway, so from the same video I found this movie called America 3000 where it had a what looked like a wolf man holding the American flag and a boombox, and that cover looked awesome. And they were like, "Oh, that looks so cool." So I was like, "What's that
Whew.
rated? PG-13." Okay, you can watch that.
But I
So
kept feeling throughout this whole thing that I've seen it before. It's the same premise
yeah,
as
you have you
other
have
movies.
it's a combination of sword and sorcery. It's Star Wars and
Who is that one with Ringwald in where she kept screaming?
Space Hunters Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. That was a Star Wars ripoff.
And what
But
about
another
that other one, that lady?
Terminator?
No. I don't know.
Terminator 3?
No. Stop it.
What lady?
It was a very bad adaptation of a lady Terminator or whatever.
Oh, Robo Woman.
Oh, God. I just felt like what was going on in this movie I've seen before, like going into that room and playing with
I
the
feel like I've
equipment.
seen this movie too, and I have seen a version of this already.
Ugh,
I'm gonna blow your mind with this.
we did see it, right?
Yes, this is just a live action sci fi PG-13 version of Pocahontas.
It's not.
How is it not like Pocahontas?
Pocahontas was Indian, and she was with the tribe that were men and women and children.
But if
She
you,
wasn't a slave owner.
but if you I'm not saying that. But if you replace,
You're talking about
but if
Pocahontas.
you turn them into just genders, they're separate. They're separate groups. They're fighting.
Mm.
They're lying to each other. There's fatalities and deaths. There's action scenes. And at the end, they stop because of love.
They stopped fighting because it was the right thing to do, too.
And because they get the hots for each other.
Whatever.
Anyway, this movie, America 3000, um, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I, as a man, should not mansplain this movie.
No, no. I'm
This movie
I'm
is.
about ready to fall asleep, people standing up.
Okay, fine. Kay, just say your thoughts and then you can leave and then I'll finish this review
Thank
by
you.
myself, I
Brush my
guess.
teeth and get to bed. Um, it just seemed too familiar, especially when he fell down the trough or whatever, like well. and then he came to the
Science lab, pretty much.
yeah. So I really
Prison ship, Star Slammer.
I really feel like I saw this movie before. So,
You've seen all the tropes. This, like,
but
cliche
anyway,
soup.
okay. But anyway, I didn't really like it. Um,
Yeah,
it was okay, but yeah,
spoiler alert, I
it's
would never get this. I will not get this movie on Blu-ray or DVD. I mean, okay, if you want, you can. I mean,
no, it just kind of dragged, and
this can be a double.
yeah,
You can. This can be your double feature. This and Lady Terminator.
no.
Lady Terminator's a better movie.
Okay, I have to get some sleep. I got to work tomorrow. So, good night.
No, you don't. It's Friday.
Oh, I have to get up and do stuff on Saturday. Oh,
You
okay.
work on Saturdays? Okay.
Yeah, off work.
Okay, so I guess I have to explain the rest of I guess I have to explain the movie. Essentially, it's in the year 3000 where there's been a big nuclear thing, so it's one of those typical sword and sorcery post-apocalyptic movies that you've probably seen at least 10 times at this point where oh my god, I thought there were a ton of Die Hard ripoffs and Jaws ripoffs. Oh my god, I think the post-apocalyptic Mad Max ripoffs are even more and worse because it's pretty cheap to just go into the desert in an abandoned area and well, I don't know. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was like in Utah or Nevada. I don't know. For all I know, it was New Mexico. Um, where it was filmed, and just get a bunch of people, get a bunch of chicks to dress in leather and stuff, and just bribe a horse farm to borrow like 100, to borrow 2 dozen horses, and boom, there you go. So anyway, um, in the year 3000, women are the rulers and men are enslaved, pretty much. And men are assigned pretty much two jobs. They're either assigned worker or breeder, pretty much. I'll let you take a guess what either of those mean. Um, so anyway, there's some like rebel men, and apparently a lot has changed by the year 3000 because it's kind of like an allegory for like slavery in a way where this guy was reading this book and saw like the word man and was like man, and it's like okay, that's kind of weird, but also because it was made in the 80s, it shows how it's amazing how futuristic things are, with corded phones. There's also a president. There's one guy who's kind of like the lead, who's kind of like our male lead, I guess, who he kind of looks like a combination Matt Damon, Matt Stone, where he has like blondish hair and yeah, he kind of has a Mark Hamill look. I thought you were working tomorrow. Good night. Happy Saturday. So anyway, um, basically it's a rise against the corrupt or rise against the power and like equality dot dot dot. Like if you've seen two of these movies, you've seen pretty much every single trope that is in this movie. Um, the cover is way cooler than the movie, as is typically the case. Um, this isn't my first canon movie. This isn't even the first we've reviewed, but I have found some of their movies really boring. Like, oh god, what did I see that I didn't like? Masters of the Universe I found extremely dull. Superman 4, just okay. Um, Superman 3 is my cheese. Um, what else? I've seen the Chuck Norris Missing in Action movies, but I don't remember much about them. Uh, I don't know. Dolph Lundgren. I haven't seen a ton of their movies. I'm sure I'm gonna see more in the future. Maybe they made Aliens from LA. Maybe they did. I can't quite remember. Um, I'm sure we'll get to more of them in the future. They made like what, 400 movies and upwards of 3 of them profitable. Um, oh, I'm pretty sure I saw Breakin' and Breakin' 2, obviously. Um, so yeah, pretty much uh in this future, apparently men and women forgot like making love, I guess, even though we see one woman like tied up and essentially getting pregnated. Um there was a bunch of moments where I was like where I was telling Kay, typical women, dot dot dot, typical woman, dot dot dot. And don't worry, I also said it about men, so it's okay. There was one part where there was like a tower, and there was like a kind of like some it looked like this at the top, and I was like, typical men, always making something look like a wiener. So, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's a battle. Um, the movie is it's PG-13, so there's not of there's not really a ton of profanity. There is a little bit of gore. Um, I've shown Kay PG and PG-13 horror movies that she's found and R-rated movies that she's been found tougher to watch than this. It's one of those movies where I kind of wish I kind of wish this movie got remade, but at the same time it still has like kind of a I don't know if it's like a feminist message or anything, but it does kind of show that like women were like on horses like trolloping and like using like hand to hand weapons, whilst men were just like throwing grenades and just like blowing stuff up. Like it looked like the horse part of heavens. It looked like the horse part of Heaven's Gate. And you saw like some faces, some legs. You saw some like backs. You saw like a lot of them being like scraped up and bleeding. Not to the point where it's like organs are falling out of your face or whatnot, but enough to not squeamish, but it's like ouch. Um, let's see what else. Uh, then the guy feels betrayed. Um, so then he gets on a horse and like rides. And oh, by the way, during this movie, for I don't know why, there's a Chewbacca knockoff where he kind of reminds me of yeah, he it's just a Chewbacca knockoff, and I don't know why they have a Chewbacca knockoff in this post-apocalyptic movie. There's even a scene where there's like where they have like laser guns, and it's like okay, I don't get it. There's computers and stuff. It is the year 3000, but it's like okay, I guess, but 80% of the movie looks like it was shot in like the 17 or 18 in the not even 2020, more like the 50s or more like the 1800s or something, like one of those typical barbarian movies. But yeah, as I said at the end, the guy says like you betrayed me, and she's like, here's my whip, I'm dropping it, do what you want. And so they start like making out, and there's like a previous scene where he was like implying, man has skin, woman has skin. They gave him futuristic terms. They gave him futuristic terms, probably just to sound cool and whatnot. Um, and when I saw that scene, I kept thinking me, you, Jane, me, Tarzan. So I kept thinking that I was when they were getting whipped. I thought like your name is Toby. I apologize, people, but that's the first thing I thought of. I'm sorry. Um, this movie had a wide range of races for both the male and female groups, so that's something cool. That's positive. That's good. Um, Honestly, there's not really a whole lot to recommend about this movie. And the fact that it's PG-13, where I wonder if there was a cut that was R, because there's some like quick cuts after like someone kind of gets mildly cut up. So maybe it was supposed to be gorier. I doubt there was supposed to be more nudity. It was a canon film after all. Um Maybe it was supposed to be gorier and it was chopped down from an R to a PG-13. Uh Maybe there is some extended cut. Maybe I'm putting too much thought into it. I've probably put more thought into it than the writer might have, no offense. Um yeah, this isn't a movie I'd recommend. Like I said, like if you want to watch a movie uh, where an awesome chick uh beats down bad guys, just watch Lady Terminator. It's a much better movie and way more awesome. Um that's all I have to say. Join us next time where huh, I said Star Wars ripoff. I said Mad Max ripoff. I also said Jaws ripoff, huh? I've reviewed all 5 Jaws films. Huh. Well, as I did with Blades, it's time to review a Jaws ripoff. Bye!